What's up, Lynchburg fans? Kyle Haney with head women's volleyball coach Kevin Cardoza. We're at JoJo's Pizza, right across from campus, in this newly refurbished pool room here, Kevin. It's the Lynchburg Coaches Show. Still not sure what we're going to name it, but we are going to play some pool, and the winner will get a look at, or a chance to get the first slice of pie right here. So, you were the Uber driver for Coach Yeager in episode 1. You're in the hot seat episode 2. That's because you and Coach Yeager, you're both still playing. NCAA regional game coming up this Thursday. How do you feel, my friend?
Yeah, first time in program history, that we're going to the NCAA tournament. I think it's been a goal for this program since I took over 2 years ago. Yesterday was a pretty cool day just in general. I think there was a lot of excitement. Getting to see our name turn over for the first time, but I think taking a step back, standing up in the bleachers with you, I wasn't even sure when our name turned over. I just heard Lynchburg and I just wanted to look at the kids. Thought it was really cool just to kind of see their reaction and their experience, and thought that was it was very heartwarming for me to kind of see them accomplish all the things that they set forth to start off the year over the last 2 years. So it was pretty exciting.
It was pretty cool. It was kind of a nerve-wracking experience watching that selection show, though, wasn't it?
I felt like we were waiting for about 20 minutes to get our name called over, but it was good. It was fun.
All right, well. So we're just going to shoot a little pool here and chat with Kevin about volleyball and life. Kevin, talk to us a little bit about last year. You took some major steps forward. I know that was an incredible experience in itself. How did you build on that? Off-season was part of it. Getting these transfers was part of it. But give us that transition from the end of last year to the beginning of this year.
Yeah, so I think for us, all we've really talked about was trying to be really good at just playing Lynchburg volleyball. And I think from the day we took over, setting our standards and expectations, and going through the fall, having some success, and then going through the spring, we were just trying to build on what we did every day, right? We were just trying to build upon working hard, competing, being really good teammates, taking care of each other. I just think for us, we don't try to overcomplicate it. We try to keep it as simple as we can keep it. And I think every day we're just trying to get better. We're not trying to look too far in advance. We're just trying to make sure that we're just trying to do the things that we know we need to do in order to try to win ball games.
Well, you're a confident guy, but how soon this season did you realize, wow, this ball club could be really good? Because last year you guys were good, obviously, yeah. But you've taken that to another level this year.
I think it was our first or second day in. I looked at Thomas and I said, I think we got a chance here. We knew that our first couple of games were going to be really tough. We knew the first 2 weeks of the season was going to be a little bit of a challenge. But we set them up in a position where we felt like if we did the things we were supposed to do day in and day out, we were going to give ourselves a chance to win some ball games.
Your stripes if you want to be. Or we can just shoot around.
I mean, I think this is going to be the Kyle Haney show playing pool, to be fair. But,
not at all.
I think we knew pretty early on. I think we had to stay healthy. I think healthy was a big part of it. I think we needed to train. And, you talked about the transfer. I think trying to integrate a new group of student athletes with the current group, I think was something that we didn't take lightly. Just from a culture standpoint, from an expectation standpoint, we wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page in what we were trying to accomplish and what we were trying to do. So, again, at the end of the day, we just tried to keep it simple. We just tried to play Lynchburg volleyball. And we felt like we could be pretty good really early on, honestly.
So you talk about bringing in the new players, trying to integrate them. Tell us about some of these personalities that folks on the court might not see. Now, you do get to see some of those personalities. If you watch Abby Barlow, you can't miss her personality on the court. But give us some insight there, some behind the scenes as far as just what everybody's like. I know you can't talk about everybody, but tell us about it.
I'm going to be honest. It's a really unique group of student athletes, and I think that's what makes every day really fun. They're not all the same. They're not all robotic. We try to make sure that they all embrace being each other. Even for us as staff, we try to make sure that we're being ourselves at all costs, at all times. A lot of them got a lot of great energy, and they're going to be they're going to be goofy, and they're going to laugh and have a great time. And we got some other ones that are a little bit more serious all the time, and I think that balance of them is really important. But at the end of the day, I think we got the same personality in all of them in three things. Like, they all work extremely hard. They're all really great people, and they're all super competitive, and they all want to win at the highest level. And those are things that we're looking at all costs. And their personality difference is what makes this team so special. It makes the team as unique as it is. You know, we talked about today, it'll never be the same, right? This is the last year, it'll be like this, and next year will be a whole new year.
That was a foul, and I also want to piggyback on that, because a lot of those traits you described about your team also describe yourself with the competitiveness, and the phrase was unapologetically Kevin.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that. I mean, is that something you grew into, or as long as you can remember, you've always been Kevin?
I mean, I've always been Kevin for sure. I think obviously as I've gotten older and as I've just kind of grown, I've just learned that I'm the best version of Kevin that I can be, for right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't really think it matters. We're gonna do things, and I'm gonna do things that I think are right. And we tell the girls all the time, at the end of the night, I gotta lay down in my bed with my head on my pillow, and I gotta know that I took care of everybody to the best of my ability. I treated everybody to the best of my ability, and I made sure that I told people the truth. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It's probably a little bit of both, to be fair. But I think it's just really important that we're authentically ourselves. Like, we're gonna be compassionate. We're gonna be empathetic. We're gonna be competitive. We're going to try to be really good people. Doesn't mean we always get it right, but we know at the end of the day we're doing what we think is best, and we got to be okay with it. Everyone's going to be different. We want to make sure we're embracing our girls the same way. Like, we want them to be themselves. We don't want them to be in a box. We don't want them to feel like they can't be who they are. We want them to be who they are because they're the best version of themselves that they can be.
All right, shoot this shot, and then we're going to keep in the spotlight here for a second and go back to the team.
Shouldn't focus on my pool. We should be focusing on you're putting too much pressure on me.
We could go back to focusing on pizza. So, Long Island, New York, young Kevin Cardoza. You told me the other day, I just found out you were a lacrosse player.
I did. I played lacrosse for a couple of years. Yeah. I played a little bit of everything growing up. Sports was a way bigger part of my life. So I tried to play as many things as I could play. You know, it kind of kept me away from doing homework, which is probably a good thing for me growing up.
That caused me.
But yeah, a lot of sports growing up was cool.
Yeah. So early on, you knew you wanted to be a coach?
No. To be fair, I grew up in a part of the country where, like, we didn't even know, like, really coaching was a job. My degree's in criminal justice, so I went through most of high school, and especially early on in college, I wanted to do something in law enforcement or something in that regard. That was my degree was in. I got into coaching. I got my first coaching opportunity as a senior in college. I was a senior in college coaching a college program as an assistant. So I went to school full time in the morning. I drove about an hour and 15 minutes up, coached the college team, drove an hour and 15 minutes back home, and then would do homework and, you know, all the other stuff. And I did that for about a year. And then the school I graduated from had a position open to be an assistant, so I took that. It was all part-time work, so I basically worked a lot of other jobs to try to make it work. But coaching for sure was not something I thought about growing up. I knew I liked sports, but it was not something that, you know, I envisioned myself doing. I love what I do, but wasn't a young boy growing up thinking about being a college coach.
Well, you got there now, so let's go inside volleyball for a little bit. Last year, you guys really took off when you started setting the middles more.
Yep.
Tell the uninitiated, what does that mean in regular sports terms? What does that mean?
How to equate to other sports.
Or maybe it doesn't have to be other sports. Maybe just explain what it means in volleyball terms.
Yeah, so most teams are going to have 3 front row attackers at all times. You're going to have someone on the left that we typically call an outside, someone in the middle of the floor, which we call our middles, and then someone on the right side of the floor, which is called right sides or opposites. I think it's really important when you start to play volleyball and you're working on defense, more balls are going to go to the outside than anywhere else on the floor. So there's usually more blockers defending that side of the floor. So I think for us it was really important that we try to attack more through the middle of the floor. You know, usually that spot's a little more one-on-one, a little bit more open to take some quality swings. So we kind of built a system around putting those athletes in a position to find a lot of success to balance out the rest of the floor.
And those 2 athletes, Leah DiNardo, Ava Meinhardt, not that you don't want to have other people that play the position, but they've been the 2 big ones. It helps to create a system around their strength too, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've said it pretty early on when we got here. We realized that those were two pretty special athletes, and I've said it pretty much since we walked in the gym here that they were two of the best middles in the ODAC. I think they've proven that week in and week out. Both received, accolades during the week and weekly awards. They both made all conference teams. Leah making second, Ava making third, and then Ava was selected to the all tournament team for the ODAC. So a lot of accomplishments for that group, and they both come back. So the future here is real bright. We're really excited about having them both back in the gym.
Let's run down the seniors of players that don't come back after this. Maybe we should start with the 50-year Maya Green, because she did come back. She had to work incredibly hard just to get herself healthy enough to play. And then even when she came back, the spot wasn't exactly there because of how much talent you have in the setters room.
Yeah.
Talk about her and those other seniors that were part of this transition, you coming here. They started here without you.
Yeah.
Now they've embraced you, and I know that's a special thing for you.
It is, and something that's it's got a lot of emotion behind it. Specifically with Maya. Maya got hurt my second day on the job here. I realized pretty early on how important she was to this team. Unfortunately, when she got hurt, she was going to miss her senior year, and I think the one thing that I was very aware of is that she had the heartbeat and the pulse of the group, and she for sure had the best interest of the university, at her disposal. So when we started to build out what our preseason was going to look like and our fall, I told her, I said, look, I'm planning everything around you. Like, I need you to be at every practice, every lift, every game. Like, you need to be with us 24/7. Like, you're going to basically be a coach for us. She did that. She did that at a really high level for us. I was very blessed to have someone within the program that understood what we were trying to build, but also understood what the team needed. I think that's really unique. So she provided that for us, which that was pretty terrible. We were pretty excited. We were pretty excited to be able to have that. We were pretty excited to have that in our gym. I'll never forget about midway through, maybe just past the halfway mark, we were in a practice and she walked by me and she was like, "What if I come back for my 5th year?" And I said, "Don't say it unless you mean it." And she goes, "Oh, I'd love to talk more about it." And I said, "Okay." And we took some time and we chatted about it the next day. And I said, "Hey, a couple things on your end. Like, I would love for you to come back. I think it'd be great for this team for you to come back. You got to understand, though, that you might come back and you might not get on the floor. And you might come back and it might not be all that you expected. But I think it'd be really beneficial if you did." She said, "I'm in. I want to be a part of this." And she has been. And again, her road wasn't easy. She didn't start to begin this year. She had to work through all of that. She's done a really good job for us as she got back on the floor. I think that's been really special for this team, not only to have her back on the floor, but they missed all of that stuff last year. She added a lot of value for this program and continues to add a lot of value for this program, but I think it's different when you actually are on the floor being able to kind of back up some of the stuff that you're talking about. So I've been very blessed. Not everybody has that ability and has that opportunity to have someone in their program, and we're very lucky to have that, and I'm very grateful for her and all that she's done for this program. And you talked about the other kids too. They've all done that. Especially for those seniors, their 4 years has been kind of chaotic, right? Like, they might have been recruited by one coach, had a different coach, and then had us. Different expectations, a whole bunch of different stuff potentially. And it's really easy. It's really easy in moments of chaos and uncertainty to run. And they didn't do that. They hunkered down and they locked in. And they didn't know me. They didn't know our staff. But we had to build that trust and we had to build that expectation and kind of build what we wanted it to look like and get them to buy in. I think they did a really good job at that. And I think the success that we're seeing is due to the fact that they have bought in and they've got other people around them to buy in. And none of this is possible without that group. So those seniors, I told them this morning, I said, we're going to look back. People are going to look back on this historic run that the program's going to have not only this year, but also down the road in the future. And they're going to say, when did it start? And I'm going to say 2025. And you're going to look at it from a record perspective and you're going to say, oh, it's the best record that they've had in NCAA tournament, all that stuff. And that's the reason why that's special. And I'm going to say it's not. It's special because of the people that are in this program and the people that have bought into what we're doing. Not only from our staff and the administration and the university, but just like everyone who's involved in our program. Like, when the program reaches all the goals that it wants to reach, when we're number one in the country and we're fighting for national championships and we're doing all of those things, it's going to be because of the people that were a part of this program in 25. And I'll never forget that, and I'm very lucky that this group has done it. And I'm ready to get back to battle with them on Thursday and continue to show everybody what Lynchburg volleyball is.
Yeah, really good transition because the game is about to come to an end. So maybe we should start to bring this in for a landing. Can't let you go without talking about, well, yeah, the game might go on a little longer. This could be tough for me to make. But can't let you go without talking about just the environment inside Turner. I'm thinking about last week in that game against Bridgewater. That was bonkers. But you've gotten some other big-time crowds. I know when you guys travel, parents are there. How cool is that to see the support you're getting, especially maybe from kids at Lynchburg who they don't know what a middle is, they don't know what a set is, they just want to get in there and get rowdy and cheer for some of the people they go to school with.
Turner Gym was electric on Thursday. Quite honestly, like, we have Code Red games and we have a bunch of other games throughout the year, and even on a standard game for us, like, we usually have a pretty good crowd. It's not, every gym in the country can't be what that is, and I am so incredibly lucky and so incredibly blessed that, like, we get to play in front of a great crowd, and not just there sitting and kind of hanging out, a crowd that, you know, is invested and wants to be there. They were screaming from 20 minutes pregame all the way through it. Like I said, Turner Gym, in my opinion, is one of the best gyms in the country, and it's for sure an atmosphere that's really tough to come in and compete and come in and win in. So it leaves me kind of speechless when I think back at what that crowd looked like on Thursday. It was gnarly. Like, it was for sure one of the coolest environments we've been in. I thought it surpassed. I thought both Code Reds we had were great, but that Thursday against Bridgewater at home was one of the coolest experiences, not only since my career here at Lynchburg, but one of my coolest experiences in coaching in general.
And now it's going to be completely different Thursday, right? Because you got to play a neutral site game in Baltimore. Yeah, you'll have some parents, but for the most part, it's going to be a bring your own energy kind of game. What's the message to the team on that end and maybe just in general before that first serve Thursday?
Another day of Lynchburg volleyball. Another day of Lynchburg volleyball. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we are always stressed to our kids on the bench to bring energy. We always stress the kids on the court to bring energy and bring purpose and play hard and do our job. It's another day. The ball's the same, same net, same pole, same structure, referees, people on the other side of the net. Like, we're going to do what we do. We're going to do it to the best of our ability every single day. We've said it from day one. We feel like we have one of the best programs in the country. And every day in our gym, we get to compete and we get to play against who we think is some of the best people out there. It's another game. It's another day. William Smith is obviously a good team. Hopkins, Stevenson are good teams. Laverne's obviously a good team. Everyone in the NCAA tournament's good. That's why you're one of the last 64 teams playing volleyball. But we're also really good. We've also built something pretty special here. And again, at the end of the day, we just talk about focusing on Lynchburg volleyball and getting back to work, and that's all we've done. So we took some days off, obviously, after the semifinal game, and then we got back in the gym. We got to work Monday, and then staff's been awesome trying to build things out for NCAA tournament and trying to work through, but it's what we do, it's who we are, and it's all we know. Like, we're just going to get back to work or to keep grinding, and we're going to put our kids in the best position to find success.
I love it. You want me to finish you off here?
Make it happen.
You sure?
You want me to close my eyes? Make it painless?
You want me to close my eyes?
No, I can close my eyes. I don't need to watch me lose.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, the
competitive part of me
secret is you got to keep your head down on those right there. That's the secret.
I don't love losing, but I can feel okay losing to you because I know you're pretty good at pool.
Oh, it's just a lot of fun. Just like watching you guys play. Kevin, thanks for being here. Episode 2 of the Coaches Show. First one on the pool table. I don't know. Coach Yeager might have to come back for a replay.
I'll take on Coach Yeager.
Oh, you guys are in the losers bracket. Well, that's not fair to him because he didn't get to play. But no, Kevin, thank you, and we're looking forward to this weekend.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
I get to first pick. I'm going to take a big slice right here.
As you should.
It's a big week.
It's the right thing to do.
We can't go on a diet this week, Coach. We got a lot of traveling to do, a lot of volleyball to watch.
Diet's been out the window since August.
Out the window.
Doesn't taste as good as a loser.
Put some Parmesan and red pepper on there.
Try to spice it up.
Now, you're a Long Island guy, though. You should be a pizza connoisseur.
I am.
Yeah. And how does this rate?
I feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from an official New Yorker. Yep.
This has to be my last slice because I just love JoJo pizza.